lies that they spread about us. I want to see them go through the same thing. I want to see it on their faces. I want to see them go down. I want to see it on their faces. Everything that they put the divine through, I want to see it on their faces. I want to see them suffer. I want to see it on their faces. I want to see them in poverty. I want to see it on their faces. Come through, Kali. So, what it do is your girl Majestic, the beautiful, the divine. I am here one more time, and I'm here to speak the truth. Okay? I know a lot of people watch me and they pretend they don't, and they take my stuff and they copy it and stuff, but you can never be me. Ever, 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 ever. You can just keep pretending, or you can go find your own business. That's what you can do. Now, I'm here to talk today about people like you. So pay attention since you watch me all the time. Take notes since you do it all the time. This is specifically for you. Specifically for you. Because you want to give praises where praises are due. Okay, that's what it's about, giving praises where praises are due. And you can't do that to save your life because you think you can come in between that. And you can't. You can't. Give praises where praises are due. You make what? You would be making much more if you gave praises where praises were due. You making a small amount off of me. A small amount, but if you had gave praises where praises were due, you would be rich as ever. You will be rich as ever. But you just can't do that because you don't deserve it. Don't you see? Those who deserve it will follow me. Okay? Those who deserve it. All right? You deserve just what you're getting, so stay right where you are. I got a message for you to share to. I got a message for you to give to your little crowd that you got. I got a message right now for you. Now let's see if you can keep up with this one, huh? Come through, Collie. So today I want to express and explain the truth about the masculine and feminine. All right. I got my notes because I usually go off the top of my head, but today I'm gonna go off a couple notes. All right. Take your notes and stay with me. Now, there's a divine feminine, me, like me, and then there's a lower feminine like you. Right? 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 They both are receivers, right? They're both are receivers. All right. There's Bina, the divine feminine, and then there's Satariel, who is Satan, and that's the lower feminine. All right. And just like that, there's a divine masculine and a lower masculine. All right. The divine masculine's name is Kochma, and the lower masculine name is Gagiel. All right. Thing about higher and lower is that they are coined. They do the same things, but they are backwards. They do them backwards, right? They do them backwards. They don't follow, like the higher ones follow actual evolution. They follow actual, just like if you would acknowledge someone like me, that will be the higher masculine and feminine. But the lower will try to steal your shit, right? The lower is backwards when it comes to evolution. It doesn't work together. It doesn't build together. All right? So I'm going to dive into what they represent. All right? So let's start with the divine feminine, shall we? I got a lot written down. I got a lot written down. Let me see. I thought I wrote down. All right, so the higher feminine is discipline, self restraint. She has higher meaning of life, the right brain, the first effects of each element, no reason to mourn. Her color is yellow or gold. I like how they said the first effects of each element. What does that mean? This means the one who gives birth. All right? Now, this is the one who gives birth. This is the one where the idea can transpire. This is the one where the idea is first created. It's first birth. This is the divine feminine. Okay? It's a very important key to your very own existence. All right? This is why a man took her out of the script because she is the most important key. All right? It's so important to understand the divine feminine. Inside of us, it is the right brain. It is that quiet, that space. It is what sits on the throne. All right? They got y'all twisted with God. And God is only her. That's who God is her. All right? God is the Bina, Keter, and Kochma all in one. It is the three in one working together. They can get nowhere without that divine feminine space that first drops in the information. It is the information bringer. It is the information giver. All right? It is the bloop out of the cosmics. The very first bloop. Okay? It is the very first portal of information from the cosmic realm. All right? Let's see if you can keep up with this one, huh? And please do, by all means, challenge me. Let me see if you can keep up. Let me see if you know what you're talking about, all right? I'm going to be watching y'all because y'all think y'all know it all. All right? Let's see if you can keep up. Now, there's a lower feminine, right? And this is called Satariel, and she's a concealer. All right. Everything that I just named off about Bina, about receiving the information. So we receive the information, and then what Satariel does is flip it upside down. She receives the same information because why? It is the first information. But Satariel works out of her lower chakras. So what she ends up doing is flipping things upside down. Like I said, when y'all take my messages and spread them and act like you came up with it, right? You first got the information, but you didn't know what to do with it because you working at your lower chakras. So you first got the information, but what did you do? You said, "Oh, I'm gonna pretend that this came from me." That's where you messed up. That's where you became a Satariel. You're a destructor. You're a destroyer. Okay? And ultimately you're destroying yourself. You do it to gain some type of attention, the attention you never had. Like I said, this works in the lower chakras. Okay, it's like your parents never provided or they never gave you love, and so this works out of that place. Come on through, Kali. Satariel works with Beelzebub. I mean, that's like the highest ranking demon there is. The Throne of Decay, masked as brilliance, clever manipulation, Some of these Americans, that's all you know is Beelzebub. That's all you know is Satariel. A lot of you Americans, all you do with the information from the divine is flip that mug. You flip it. You don't know how to use it as it comes. You don't know how to use it in its purest state. You all you do is flip that mug, right? Right? All to gain control. System to control. Satariel is the Joker, the ego, and the light bearer. Now, it's a lot to understand about the light bearer. That's Lucifer, right? So that's why Lucifer and Satan, they are coined. They're one and the same, just about. Okay, they work on the same exact team. The light bearer is the one who brings the light. Like I'm saying, you don't know what to do with that pure information. You have no idea. So you pull in your chakras, you pull in your trauma, you pull in things that bothered you in the past, and then you mix it with the pure information, and that is where you get totally off track. That is where you use that information for destruction. Okay, when you pull in all your trauma that you never heal. All right. So that's the Tariel. These are the divine feminine and the low ass, dense ass feminine. Okay. Come on, Kali, come on through, come on through. So we got, oh, Kali's gonna love this one. We got the divine masculine, we got the lower masculine. Should we start off with the lower masculine, Kali? I think we should. I think we should. All right. She got a lot to say about this. She gonna have a lot to say. Hmm. So Gagiel, let's get on Gagiel, right? It is the obscene intellect. All right. Let's see. It is the Baphomet. It is the lower XY. All right. Let me see what I wrote. I was doing a lot of writing. So I guess I didn't write nothing down about Gagiel, but I'm gonna let Kali just speak through me because Gagiel is the it is the manifest of Satariel. Okay, Satariel, like I said, is that information. This is how our right and our left brain works. It is that information, right? It is that pure information being flipped, right? And so Gagiel, after she flips it like a dumbass, she ends up giving that information to Gagiel to now manifest, to now do something about it. And so, like, when people watch me, they see my information. They don't click like, they don't click share. All right. That'd be the right thing to do. Let's uplift this girl. Let's help work with this girl. But then what they get that information and then they flip it. No, I'ma take that power. I'ma use it for myself, right? And then once they get that information, they then say, how do I use it for myself? What can I do to use it for myself? And Gagiel is who gives them the idea on how to manifest whatever lie that Satariel gave to them, okay? Gagiel is the liar. Gagiel is the one that creates the lights, okay? Like the light bearer, all right? Gagiel, well, Satariel is the light bearer, but Gagiel manifests the lights. All right, Gagiel does a lot of earth magic. All right, Gagiel is Jesus upside down. All right, it is the one. That's why the devil, Lucifer, and Jesus are coined. This is why, because it is the negative version of Jesus. All right, it manifests and it brings the magic, but it brings the death magic. It brings the black magic, the negative magic. I think it's white magic. I don't know. But it brings that negative magic to destroy. To destroy. And it only has a temporary power. While it destroys something else, it holds a temporary power. This is why your world is rooted in that masculinity. Lucifer is the statue of liberty. Your religion praises the external sun god. The sun god is a phallus god, okay? This phallus god is related to Lucifer and Satariel, okay? And so when they manifest, then it's always for gain. It's always to destroy something around them so that they can pretend that they have some sort of gain for what, 5-10 minutes? When Jesus or Coachman teaches how to have eternal gain, to keep that always and forever. But Gagiel, because of the trauma, okay, it doesn't know that it can achieve gain. It has no idea that it can achieve eternal gain. It has no idea. And so it likes to, it can't even heal itself in order to achieve eternal gain. It's too unintelligent to heal itself, because that's all that it would have to do is heal itself, face its own problems instead of everybody else's. All it has to do is face its own problems, but because it neglects itself, it wants what's in someone else. Okay? I'm gonna say that again. Because it neglects itself, it wants what's within somebody else. Like a dummy. Alright? So, this is what Kali coming back for, is that that lower masculine. All right, this is exactly, and sad to say, that is what America is rooted into. So we wonder why. We wonder why Kali's coming back to America, and this has been prophesied. So don't say nothing to me. This has been prophesied, but I'm just explaining. I'm just a messenger. I'm just explaining why you, because you've been working out of that lower, because you can't fix your pain. I done been through more than half of you. I done been through so much jealousy. Jealousy is the root of evil. That's like the nail in the coffin. All right. And so I done been through what they say. Jealousy is as cruel as the grave. You know how much I done been through, but I soared through that stuff. Why? Because I faced my thing. See, the jealousy I've been through tried to push me into self-hate. It literally did. I had to heal myself out of it. Because ain't no sense of me getting mad at the next person. That made no sense to me and never had. I don't deal with Gagiel. I don't deal with his ass. He's stupid. He's slow. I could easily try to manipulate somebody else because of the pain I've been through. I know I'm beautiful, but I can easily, usually beautiful people, we don't, but because of the jealousy, because of the, people trying to silence you, people trying to, like, one up you all the time. All the time. This is how serial killers are made. And you know what I had to go through to heal myself? I didn't blame you. I didn't put the blame on anybody else but myself. And I had to heal myself, take out of myself what did not benefit me, what did not serve me. I don't want to be triggered every time. But see, Gagiel is the type, and that's where Kali has her fun. You see, because Gagiel can be triggered easily, easily, because it's not healed. This is where Kali has her fun. But I'm not going to get into that today. Because instead of you think you know it all and you triggering all these people because of your trauma. But Kali come for people like your ass. Kali comes like a tornado for people like your ass. You don't even know what hit you. Okay? Because you got all these unhealed spaces. That's where Kali attacks your ass. Because you sit here attacking other people because you ain't healed inside. When all you had to do was face your problems. Why am I triggered about this? Why does this trigger me to no end? Why does this embarrass me? I stopped getting embarrassed. These people want to use their Lucifer lights on me, aka project their problems onto me, and project. Some people were even projecting magic on me, and it would embarrass me. It would cause me to have an embarrassment. It would cause me to lack in a way. And Spirit helped me to stop feeding into that. Stop getting embarrassed by that. It cleared me of that pain. No, I didn't have childhood trauma like y'all. I had wonderful parents who were there for me. What traumatized me was society. What traumatized me was after my parents died, the people that I were put with. That's what ended up traumatizing me. But because of my parents, because of the love they had for me, I knew how to stand strong. I remembered the words my mom would teach me. I knew how to remember her. And yes, I'm talking about the Bina type. It ain't a lot of those moms around in this world. That's where humanity lacks. But at the same daggone time, you got Bina inside of you. You got the creator. You got a mother and father creator as well. So you have no excuse. No excuse. Come on, Kali. And so that energy, that masculine energy, the lower masculine, is really pretty much at war with the higher feminine. Okay, the lower masculine knows how, because the higher feminine is in a place of like, it's just in a place of pure, you know etherness. I don't know how to explain it. It's just in a place of etherness. That's the word, etherness. And see, the lower masculine, Gagi L, likes to disrupt etherness. This is what America's all about. It likes to disrupt etherness with lies. It likes to tell lies. It doesn't like that place of peace, that place of it doesn't like that. But that is how you ultimately manifest from heaven. And so Gagi L disrupts that like a dumbass. It'll create its own scenario, Lucifer lights, like Kanye West, all of the lights. Okay? All of the lights means all these lies that you tell. Okay? All these lies that you tell. You create stuff out your mind with Gagiel. And then you project them. Alright? You project them. When your mind, honestly, like the monks teach, is you're supposed to be in a state of a presence where you're not thinking so much. To be absent from the mind is to be present with the Lord. So you're supposed to be in a place of stillness in the mind. Go read Stillness Speaks by Eckhart Tolle. Stillness does speak. But Gagi L doesn't allow that to happen. And so this is why, like, I can give an example of how when I'm in the presence or around a Gagiel, I can always tell because he wants to disrupt my peace. Okay? He wants to, just like the other day, here's a good example. I was on the porch and I was listening to a podcast and I had the computer behind me while I was kind of looking off at I was just, you know, this guy pulls up next door. I guess he was there to work on the house. But he's so nosy, wondering what I'm doing, right? And so he's like, "What you looking at?" he said you're just sitting there like you deep in your thoughts. And that, like, my collie popped out. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't even say nothing. I didn't explain myself. Like, explain myself. Like, no, no, no. I'm listening to the. I didn't say a word. I let him believe, like Lucifer does. Lucifer just create narratives. That's what Lucifer is. It's a narrative creator. And then you speak on it like a dumbass, and you're totally wrong. All right, you totally wrong. And that's where you go wrong. Because you start to manifest down that road, that illusion, that elusive road. All right? So by the time he hopped out the car, he realized that, hey, I'm a dumbass. She listening to a whole podcast. Like, I just totally misjudged her. He thought like he was funny. He thought, he came up all cocky and funny, like, why you just staring at he all cocky. And so Kali was just like, let him think it. And when him and his homeboy hopped out the car, they was stuck looking stupid because they totally have misjudged me. Totally. And that is what Lucifer does. But the problem with America is that we're living in a whole world of misjudging every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You study living in a lie. Just imagine how far a lie can go. And a lie does not stick to nothing but your mind, but it doesn't stick to anything in this reality. The truth prevails in this reality, but the lie only remains in your head. But don't you want to know the truth? Don't you want to know the truth, right? I don't know. Some people will be okay with living a lie. They'll be okay. They'll even know like they're walking in a lie, and they'll be like, all right, well, this feels good to me. So that's the type of people that die tragically. Their karma is just like, we gotta come and eat you up. We gotta come because you just too far off. It is about a straight and narrow road. It is about that. I'm sorry to tell you, and I'm not sorry, because that is what life was about, staying on that straight and narrow road of authenticity and truth, not leading off into illusion and then saying, well, this illusion feels good to me, so I'm just gonna stay on that. All right, that's where your karma comes in. And because there is a straight and narrow road, there is a cosmic order to your existence. There is. A lot of people is pushed off onto karma when they start listening to Gagiel, which is the ego, which is, that was his ego talking to me. Like, Kali don't play with me. Kali knows everything. And it knows when it hears the ego, and my collie like to play cat and mouse with folks. My collie like playing cat and mouse. And so next I'm gonna get on the topic of Coachman. All right, I love Coachman. Mwah, 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 mwah. I love Coachman because he is the divine masculine, the true divine masculine. Oh man, he's what the depiction of Jesus Christ is all about. All right, you ever see Jesus Christ slapping a woman or jealous of a woman? Jesus loved Mary Magdalene. Jesus knew who Mary was, and Mary knew who Jesus was, and they both respected each other well. You know, that divine masculine loves the divine feminine. It doesn't compete. All right, it doesn't like compete. It doesn't feel like it's smaller when Bina comes and teaches him something, he receives it. He's like, "Oh, okay. Now everything makes sense." He doesn't try to say, shut up. I know more than you." You know? Or don't say it too loud cuz my friends are around. It doesn't care about none of that. The divine masculine is a strong individual. That divine masculine is strong, and he's strong enough to listen to the words of the feminine. All right. He's strong enough to listen because think about Bina and Coachman. They both have two different positions. Okay. I don't know why I know why. It's Gagiel, right? Gagiel likes to make people think that there's only one position and the man got all of it. But actually in this existence there is two positions. The masculine and the feminine. There's two positions, right? So what happens here is that, like I told you before, the feminine is for the spark of information, that void space, that silence, and then the word, okay? That void, that space of intelligence. The it's like giving birth. It's like holding it in your belly, your womb. That's why we have wombs. And then she gives the birth to Coachman, who then now manifests the word, okay? Manifest the idea, okay? That's what it's about. But see, the way Gagiel and Satariel think is that it's backwards. Like somehow, and this is what America lives in. Somehow the masculinity is the who gives the word, who births the not the word, but who births the idea. He can't birth because he's not a portal from heaven. So he's only birthing something from his ego all the time. That's why men be like, "You gonna let me lead you?" Hell no. Not till I see a coachman. Because first of all, it's her who leads him. So if he's thinking like that, he's already twisted. He's already backwards. She is like the backbone. She gives him the information. And then he speaks it and manifests it. All right? That's how it goes. That's really how it goes. But America believes that it's backwards. That he births the information and he manifests it. You can't be both, brother. I'm sorry, but you can't. And so that's why nobody's really um inclining. Nobody's really walking in the Tartaria versions of us, that giant version of us, because the sexes are mixed up here. The sexes are totally mixed up. And so, like I said, Bina births because a woman from her hips, from her hips, it's like her hips has like this cosmic information, and it comes up to her mind and to her third eye, and she then tells him, right, this is something he can't do. He just can't do it. And whatever Gagiel is birthing, it's something repetitive. It's something that he probably stole from a woman. That's where you get Masons from. The Masons steal from innocent women and children. That's where they come from. Gagiel know that he can't create that on his own. All right? And so it's always going to be the woman that holds that cosmic information. And she holds that cosmic intelligence in her. Why you think she always know? Like, I always know when my son not feeling good before he even know. I always know when there's something heavy on their mind before they even tell it to me. I'm like, what's the matter? That's how females are. We coming from this cosmic place. We have this portal. We are the portal. Okay? It's important that you know this because in this American world, men know this before women do. Okay? This is what your Masonic lodges are about. Men know this about women, but women don't. And that's why it's easy for them to steal it from her because she is not aware of it herself. To be like, do I even want to give you this information? She doesn't even have a choice. And when she's aware of it herself, she then has a choice. And see, that's what they're terrified of. Us being like, should I even, are you even worthy? That's like them taking from God, from the Creator. Creator only gives when you're worthy. But they figured out a way to just take, take, take. All right? So a lot of things Creator had to teach me because it's like we were trained to just give, give, give. When we the receivers. We the receivers, not them. Just like you say right here. For Beta and Sataria, the receivers. So why is the man receiving from us all the time? Like he's a woman. He receiving our stuff. When we the receivers, not him, he's the giver. That's why he has a phallus. The phallus sticks out. This is the giver. She has a vagina. So she receives. She receives. The truth be in our faces, but you Americans want to go with beliefs so bad. Beliefs is swapped. Beliefs is backwards. Beliefs are twisted. Okay? And so Coach Ma, he works with the divine feminine side by side. A lot of those type of men were brutalized in this society. Okay? I've seen because of my history who I've been under surveillance with your government, your CIA, and they always have controlled who comes into my life and who doesn't. And the masculines who are like coachmen have always either been killed. I'm talking about in my life. They were working with me side by side. We not working together to destroy nothing. We working together to love ourselves, to go higher, to build, to make music. Here we are doing things artistic and creative things for ourselves. And these bastards are mad at us. These bastards are trying to keep us from creating. And that is where you get the creator. The three and one is when those two are balanced. Okay. And so what they want to do is, and like I said, I have one guy in jail right now. He was healing me. He was helping me heal. He was giving me information, right? And that's another thing. Like Gagiel can dip into his lights, camera, action. He can dip into his lights to destroy you. Okay? He can say, hey, meet me here. And you go there and he's not there. He's somewhere across the street watching you there, right? Or like this guy that's in jail now, he can use his lights to help you heal. Okay? He tricked me and told me to meet him somewhere. But then he ended up laughing, picking. Well, okay, so I forgot how this happened. He told me we were going somewhere else, but he took me to this other place. And while we're there, he's like, I just want you to heal. And so it's like, I hope I explained that good because, like, you can lie to someone to uplift them. You can use your lights, your Lucifer, for someone to raise them higher, to help them heal. I was going through a bad time, and he literally healed me. He was using his Lucifers. Well, it would be Jesus Christ in this sense, but he was using it to heal me and make me a better woman. All right. He went to jail a day after that on completely false allegation. Completely. I had been with him for about a week. I was at his house, he was at my house. He couldn't have done what they said he did. And he to this day swears up and down like he don't know what. It's like a tornado happened and now he's in jail. And nobody will listen to us. It's very strange. It's like they did that on purpose. And then right after that, they tried to send me some guy who was an asshole, who was a jerk. They rather me remain with assholes and jerks. They don't want anyone that loves me actually to be with me. And I know another guy who was killed. I have a lot of different stories, man. A lot of different stories of the actual coachman that was in my life, because a true Bina can respect a coachman. Okay, a true Bina can respect him in a way where he is healed. And see, that is the dynamic that America is so afraid of. All right, because Bina is to make him a strong man. Bina can make him a strong man. Why do you think there is the military? Like, they're using Bina's wisdom in the military to make all those strong men. But gay ass America feels like they're the divine feminine. They feel like that they're Bina. Okay? But that's how they use the information, even in masonry. They use the information to make strong men. But this information is not coming from a womb, it's coming from a regurgitated thought that she already put out. Okay? This is how the man can take it and call it his own. All right? I'm not going to be too much longer on here. But when the Bina and Coachman can work together, they can create creation. All right? This is what Jay-Z holds up, but he's holding up the Satariel, the Gagiel, and the Thamael. He's this is that union. All right? And when those three get together, they destroy, they lie, they trick. You know, they only have some type of greed. It's only some type of manifestation working in their behalf. All right, they're tricksters. All right, and so this is as with this. So without this is the brains, how our brains operate, and this is also external how masculinity and femininity are operating, and they're operating backwards because we are living in a backwards world. All right, everybody knows that the Statue of Liberty, they pretend like it's a woman, but then you get up close, which I have been up close, and that's a whole man. All right, it's a whole man. That's what Lucifer is. Lucifer is a liar, and um, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. All right, and so it's all about yin and yang, adversarial forces. So they both they do what each other do, but one of them is inverted. All right, and let me see if I have anything else about Coachman. Yeah, so I literally had to go off the top of my head for Coachman, but I feel like you got my drift. Let me see. And like I said, this is like, okay. Man, I got a lot. I wasn't playing because I mean, this stuff I was like, I was understanding that I was learning about my consciousness. And then when I saw this information, it's the same thing as my consciousness, and you can also see it as without too. You can also see it externally as well if you just know thyself. Like, that's really what it's about. So Satariel is a Saturn inversion of understanding. This is like those moms who don't get it. These moms who don't have understanding. Okay? This is Satan. It's the inversion of understanding. It's the divine feminine ruled by the Lucifuge, Draphic, Draphi seal. This is the distorted version, the dark feminine, the universe, non definitive, how to cavigate, how to cavigate a void consciousness, old structures ruptured. Okay. Now Kali kind of does represent this, but Kali, see, you got to understand where and when to use these energies, because you can use Satariel, but like a long time now, it's been about 3 years I've been in Satariel. But you see, you can use Satariel to destroy evil. Okay, this type of female is a destructive one. All right, so you can use evil to destroy evil. All right, I just want to make that clear because people think evil is only for to destroy good. It's not. You can still use that 666 to destroy evil. All right? Lilith. Yeah, see, Lilith, they all had worked with me. That's why, it's like it was so fun making that guy think I was just talk. I was going crazy on the porch, thinking, having a whole bunch of thinking going on, lost in my thoughts, like he said. It was so fun that he even believed that shit. It was so fun when he found out that I wasn't just in my thoughts. I'm sitting here listening to a whole podcast. It's like you can create these illusions for yourself, but Kali's going to laugh at you. Kali's going to have a good time when you find out that you was living a lie. Kali loves that part. And so do I. So do I. Because Coachman already knows. Like Coachman is at peace with himself. He ain't even worried about what you doing. Like you don't even know me. You just pull up to work on the house next door. What do me sitting here looking at the trees got to do with you? Like Coachman already knows to stay in his place because he could be wrong sometimes. So he don't even jump to conclusion. He allows the presence to reveal their self. Okay? If dude had kept his mouth shut, when he got out the car, he would have seen like, oh, she listened to a podcast. Which none of it was his business. That's what I'm saying. When you dug in with trauma, when you got so much trauma, it makes you wanna judge everybody. Heal that trauma. Because when you judging everybody, you could be dead wrong. And most of the time you are. And then you sitting there going off of trauma and misguided judgments. That's the state of America. Trauma and misguided judgments. That's where that come from. And so I just wanted to teach y'all this to understand that there's a higher feminine and there's a lower feminine, and then there's a higher masculine and a lower masculine. And so, no, everybody's not the same. Everybody's not the same. Not every woman is working out of Satariel. Not every woman. So when people say things like y'all women this and y'all women that, not every woman is working out of Satariel. Okay? And not every man is working out at Gakiel. Okay? And so we have to understand these things, know the difference, and also when to use it. Now I can be working out of Satariel when I want to. If it's some evil stuff going on around me, I sure can. Because Satariel's, once again, is a destroyer. She's like Tasmanian devil. She's Kali. Alright? And so she can have a blast also eating on demons, feeding on demons. She can have a blast doing that too. She ain't she not she that's really what she was made for in the first place. All right? They mankind learned to use her against herself. But she's really for what's wrong. She's really here to destroy the wrong. All right? Just like yeah. And a lot of things Callie hate is the lower masculine. That's the main thing she hates. And so, I want to explain that Coach Ma was like a Malcolm X energy, or that's the divine masculine, more like a Tupac energy, more like a, um, you know, it's that divine masculine. It wants to do what's right. A lot of women hate that type. A lot of women hate that type of man who is in his divinity. He doesn't get a lot of women for some reason. I know why, cause when I reach him, he always gets shot up. He always gets put in jail. He's single because our world makes him single. And same thing with Bina. She's single. And another thing I want to explain before I get off of here is the understanding, because like I was listening to someone the other day and she was saying how like it's not fair, like all the divine feminine don't get to have sex. They don't get to like, be coupled up and love right. And so I wanted to explain this because I understood how when you are loved right, when you have sex and things of those natures, you give off a frequency. All right, this frequency is like whoo, boom, boom, boom. This is how I understand. I understood this because of masonry and how they wanted me to be a part of their sex rituals. Okay, so when it's two of the same frequency having sex, then this frequency starts to heal the planet. It's divine love. Okay? It's divine love. This is true love and divine love. So this begins to heal the planet. All right? This energy, it starts to blast and heal the planet. The reason they block Coach Ma and Bina from having sex, from being together, is because they do not want us to raise the frequency of the planet. And so they mixed up the soulmates on purpose in this society. Okay? A lot of women that I do know who were with their soulmates, somehow their soulmates got killed at the job. Stuff like that. They do not want to see pure sex on this planet. It's only when the sex is twisted. Abina has to be with a Gagiel, someone who destroys her, someone who talks crap to her, someone who disrespects her. And a Sartoriel has to be with a coachman. Usually in those dynamics, the Sartoriel is always destroying the coachman. She's always tricking him. She has him on a string. She's always disrespecting him. She's always putting him down. You know, and so this is what they want to see. Or you can easily find a Sartoriel and a Gagiel together. And their type of sex destroys our land. It destroys our world. It's a lustful sex. It's lustful. And so lust, you're giving off that energy of lust. We wondering what the hell is happening in our planet. We wondering what the hell is happening. Why everybody's so lustful? Why can't nobody keep their pants on? Not why can't nobody, we wondering because these are the frequencies that they are expanding in our planet because they knew to destroy the divine union. All right? And that came straight from me. And I just wanted to explain that. All right? So to the sister who was like, why can't divine women be loved? Why can't we have sex? Why can't we experience the joys? Because we would raise the frequency of the planet. And this is what they don't want. And so, yeah, I'm glad you stayed to the end. I thank you guys for watching. This was a dope message. It was very good. I love how I love when I explain these things because humanity needs to know. It's just so important. And so, I hope you have a dope day. I thank you guys for watching. Until then, peace.